Hello, CrossFit Linchpin. Today is December 3rd, punching into December. It is a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and the year is 2019. The point of today's video is to continue what we started a while ago, which was we've got the Linchpin 12 tests, aka the Dirty Dozen, which are 12 benchmark workouts that I created when I started the affiliate. Obviously, because I'm obsessed and love programming, it was fun to do. And across all 12 of those tests, you get a great range of movements and loadings and time domains and etc., etc. So we did one video a little bit ago on test 1, which was a dirty little deal. In case you've forgotten, test 1 involved Fran, which is 21-15-9 thrusters and pull-ups, traditionally done with 95 pounds for the men, 65 for the women. But in test 1, you lower the weight. 75-pound barbell for men, 55-pound barbell for women. That's what I mean when I say Fran, okay, with regards to test 1. So Linchpin test 1 was a 400-meter run, Fran, 400-meter run, Fran, and then one more 400-meter run. And so for that one, it was a long time domain, and it was light loading. And obviously you had a decent amount. You've got 90 light thrusters in there and 90 kipping chin over bar pull-ups with 3/4 of a mile of running. And if I looked at the data on beyond the whiteboard, the 90th percentile, which means if you're in the 90th percentile that you did better than 90% of the people. So another way to think of that is you're in the top 10. For that one, a time of 15 minutes and 54 seconds meant you were in the top 10% of anyone who did it. Right down the middle, 50th percentile, 20 minutes, 23 seconds, so a longer workout. So now we fast forward to CrossFit Linchpin Test 2, and I switched it up from light and long to probably the word is moderate. So moderate loadings and moderate time domains. And I should say, of course, if you've got questions, throw them out there, and I'll do the best of my ability to scroll through at the end, see what we've got, and answer any questions. So CrossFit Linchpin Test number 2 is 3 rounds for time of 5 ring muscle-ups, 10 squat cleans, and 20 box jumps. 3 rounds for time, 5 ring muscle-ups, 10 squat cleans, 20 box jumps. The loading for the men, 135-pound barbell, 95-pound barbell for the women. And the box jumps are a 24-inch box for the men and a 20-inch box for the women. Now, credit where credit is due. I mean, CrossFit Linchpin test number 1, I didn't invent Fran. I'm not trying to say that I did. I liked it and I tweaked it a bit and made test 1 out of it. For test 2 here, I had inspiration for test 2 as well. It came from a very dear, close friend of mine, who's also, in my humble opinion, a top-notch programmer. That's Mr. Chris Spieler. And Spiel gave me a workout many years ago. I lived in Denver, Colorado at that point. And he gave me just a couplet. It was basically test 2, but it didn't have any ring muscle-ups in it. It was 3 rounds for time of 10 squat cleans and 20 box jumps, and that's what it was. And I remember it vividly. I warmed up. It was a nice day outside. I brought my box outside, out of my garage, brought the barbell out there. And I was like, 3 rounds for time of 10 squat cleans and 20 box jumps. Like, I'm going to blow through this thing in no time flat. And I was like, I'll probably just hang on to the barbell too. Why not just touch and go those 10? I mean, come on. And as all good workouts are, it was a complete trap. It caught me unawares, and it put me on my butt, and it was far harder than I thought. And that hit just in round 2. I mean, in round 2, I had no illusions about holding on to the barbell in any way, shape, or form. So I always loved that one, and I came back to it every now and then. I played with it in different ways, and when I added the 5 ring muscle-ups per round, I really liked what it did to the workout. I really liked adding that gymnastics component to it. I mean, it already has gymnastics with the box, but gymnastics meaning, the ring muscle-ups. And I thought it had a nice little bit of interference as well, because you're pulling in a different direction with the ring muscle-ups as you're going to pull on the barbell And just doing 5 of them, though, it makes everything a bit worse. And you don't catch your lungs, you don't recover your air, and I just really liked it. And I remember when I told Chris that I took his workout and I added that to it, he fell into the trap, which made me proud. He did it and called me later and just said, he's like, man, that was so nasty. He's like, I've done that workout before, just a couplet. He goes, and I thought to myself, 5 ring muscle-ups per round, like, what's that even gonna do? Like, no big deal. It's basically the same workout. And then he fell into the trap and said it was just way harder than he thought. So, I mean, there's proof positive right there. So I like workouts that are harder than you think they will be. I like ones that serve a purpose, and I like ones that are a bit of a trap. And I think test 2 is a really nice trap because nothing seems over the top. Test 1, is going to be a kick in the pants. You're doing Fran twice at 75 pounds. Even though the loading's lighter, you know that you're in for just a rugged time. But test 2 knocks on your door with a smile, and you let it in. You invite it into your home, and then it just wallops you in the face, and I don't think you see it coming. 5 ring muscle-ups per round, for a lot of people, that's not an outrageous number. They don't look at it twice. So that kind of gets overlooked. And then, the squat cleans. Squat cleans dose up most people, but it's just 10 per round. So you're like, all right, squat cleans, but I can get through that. And just 20 box jumps. Yeah, my legs will be a little sore, but I can bang out 20 box jumps. And it surprises you. So I like that. So for test number 2, we've got a moderate loading, reasonable reps. It's a trap. It's a triplet of gymnastics, weightlifting, gymnastics, and we've got a moderate time domain and some really nice interference. You already had interference from the squat cleans to the box jumps, no doubt about that, but now we've added one more little bit of interference with the ring muscle-ups, the pulling there, and then also the required pulling on the squat clean. So I really like how that kind of worked out. And again, going back to the data on Beyond the Whiteboard, so again, the 90th percentile and the 50th percentile. So the refresher, if you're in the 90th percentile, you beat 90% of the people, so you're in the top 10%. For test number 2, 90th percentile is 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's about, again, 90th percentile for test 1 was almost 16 minutes. So we're about half the time domain. So a very different time domain. So test 1 long, test 2 moderate. But that's 90th percentile, so you're in the top 10%. So when we say 50th percentile, where most folks will probably be, for test number 2, 10 minutes and 33 seconds. So a nice, once again, just moderate time domain. Really like how it worked out. And there's still 10 more tests coming up on top of this one. And even the very next one that we're going to talk about in some upcoming video, test number 3, has a similar time domain to test number 2, but is a wildly different workout. So once again, I was very happy with how it shook out. And if you want to find all of the 12 tests, just go to CrossFitLinchpin.com and you can find them all right there. They're all 12 tests are laid out, and you can feel free to do them at your leisure if you want. And we've got a bunch coming up on Linchpin. So if you're following Linchpin, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I think starting, is it this week? Let me check. I don't want to spoiler alert, but let me check. I got this open here. Starting next week, so starting the week of December 9th, we're going to have some of the tests sprinkled in there. So that's that. All right. Let's see if I missed any questions here. Okay. Got some thumbs up, some high fives. Of course, right back at you, the thumbs up and the high fives. I think we are good to go. Awesome. So, I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Today's workout, the swings and the burpees, is a nasty one. We've done that a few times, and today's going to burn. Oh, let's see. I'm going to mess up your handle. JJ Aiken 7. Pat, do you still follow the zone diet? A nutrition question. Whew. Took some bravery for me to take a nutrition question. The short answer, no. I do not follow the zone. But that has a caveat. There's a bit more of a nuanced explanation needed in that. If I'm, to follow the zone, it would imply that I'm weighing and measuring everything that I eat. And I did that. I did the zone like hardcore, weighing and measuring everything I ate for years. Literally for years. And so that gave me, I feel, a pretty good eyeball metric of what was appropriate and inappropriate regarding quantity. And so that's still in my head. Now, of course, when you stop weighing and measuring, portions tend to grow, and I understand that. But no, I haven't been weighing and measuring recently. I've just been doing my very best to eat somewhat probably similar to that, quite frankly, a 40-30-30, 40% carbs, 30 fat, 30 protein. I'm sure I'm obviously not nailing that because I'm not weighing and measuring anything. But the way that I eat now, I don't know if there's a name for it or whatnot, but I just have found a way that works for my life where the overwhelming majority of the time, I'm certainly not perfect, but the overwhelming majority of the time, I try to eat real food, unprocessed food, not junk that comes out of a plastic wrapper or a box, real meat and fruits and vegetables, and get some healthy fats. And I try to eat that real food, and when I'm content, I stop eating. I know that sounds overly simplified, but that is the overwhelming majority of the time what I do. And I slip every now and then, but I haven't been weighing and measuring anything. I've been really trying to stay away from processed crap and eat real food, and I must say it's been going exceptionally well. There is one more caveat to that, and I don't know how it happened, but since before the games, what year are we in, 2019? Since before the 2019 games, maybe about a month before that, I just stopped eating junk. So, once or twice a week, I would, I've been good all week, I would treat myself and have, I wouldn't go bonkers like I used to, but I'd have, ice cream, slice of cake, whatever it happened to be, once or twice a week, I would allow myself to have that. And about a month before the games, I just stopped. I just wanted to, give it a break. And since then, so that's been what? July, August, September, October, November. We're in December now, so we're in month 6. I've gone from probably having a treat once or twice a week to probably having a treat once every 3 weeks, which is a huge difference. And I will say just doing that took about 6 pounds off of me. And I didn't really consider myself, heavy beforehand, but just those couple little innocent indiscretions each week, I guess it was about 6 pounds, which is crazy to me. And now I don't want to don't put this message out there and all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't have a treat for once every 3 weeks, and now my life isn't fun and I hate working out and nutrition sucks. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because I don't think that is a healthy way to go either, because then I think if you're trying to stick to something which is too strict and unsustainable, then you just have huge, you just crash and burn hardcore and binge every now and then, and that is not a way to live either. So everybody, I think, just needs to find what works well for their lifestyle, their activity level, their stress level, their travel schedule, whether they do or don't have kids, do you live out of your house or a hotel or airports, whatever it is. You got to probably do a little experimenting and find what works for you, but I think what the goal of everyone should be, regardless of how you're going to make it fit your life, is the avoiding of processed crap, not real food. If you're eating real food, it literally, like they say at CrossFit, meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. A simple statement, but so powerful in application. That, like so many other things in the world, simple doesn't mean easy. And those little words right there, eat meats and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. It seems really simple. It's not a 400-page book on nutrition that goes into biochemistry and muscular substrates and, what's happening at the cellular level. Like, that, great. Geek out if you want, but just avoid the processed crap. And that's that. So, anyway. Again, not perfect. I have the treats every now and then, but they have been significantly reduced. Let's see. I'll take this last one. Mike for Life. What's your recommendation for high carb intake? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you give me some more clarification? What's my recommendation for high carb? Is that meaning what do I consider high carb, or what would I recommend for somebody looking to actually ingest more carbohydrates? Because I think those are two very different things. Let's see. Oh, type of foods that I think are high carb. So type of foods that I would say are high carb. The quick one is just going back to what I just said, processed food. I mean, if you're eating, the simplest and most obvious answer is, if you're eating, yes, fruits have more sugar than vegetables, etc., blah, 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 but I'm not talking about that. I mean, even if you eat, I just had an apple with my lunch, and it was a Honeycrisp apple, and it was delicious, and it was huge. I mean, it's probably genetically modified. It was huge. It wasn't quite as big as a softball, but it was a huge apple. I had that apple, and just one apple, and I'm quite full from having that apple. And let's say that in that apple there was, going back to like a zone thing, because it was a big apple, average apple's 2 blocks of carbs. Let's say that huge apple was 3 blocks of carbs. 3 blocks of carbs is still only like 27 grams of carbohydrates. It's not that much. I could get 27 grams of carbohydrates in a flash if I had a granola bar, or some chips, or some bread, or some, fill in the blank with something which was a processed, not real food kind of a treat. So I think when I say high carb, I'm almost linking that right in with not eating real food. And if you are eating real food, I think your overall carbohydrate and sugar consumption compared to the general population is just going to be lower. I don't see how it couldn't be. Let's see. Mikey James Baxter. Did you find the junk was hindering recovery at the time when you were eating? No, I don't think that it was. And again, that might be a totally a personal deal. But I didn't think, when I would allow myself 1 or 2 indulgences a week, I didn't feel anything bad about that at all, with sleep patterns or recovery or performance, nothing at all. Like I said, the only place that I really noticed it is I stopped, and I'm about 6 pounds lighter, just boom, gone. Let's see, all right, final question, and then I have to head to my kid's school, because guess what? I get to go into his 2nd grade class today and tell them about CrossFit. How cool is that? All right, Matthew. Opinion or advice on fasting for a first-timer? Ooh, you know who you need to check out on that? Check out EC Sinkowski. JJ just posted. Have you tried EC's 800-gram challenge? Absolutely. So I would point you towards EC Sinkowski. She runs the nutrition portion of the private track. She just gave a TEDx talk in Boulder. She's very well-credentialed and sharp lady, and knows all about nutrition, and she's covered some stuff on intermittent fasting as well. And I've played with that a little bit. I've done up to a 3-day fast. I've done multiple months where I didn't eat until lunch, and all that's treated me pretty well. And I do have breakfast now in the mornings, but I actually don't have any carbs in my breakfast. I just have some scrambled eggs for breakfast, and that's that. And the first carbs that I consume are for lunch. And I'm not saying that will work for everybody, but I will say that it treats me and my body quite well. And JJ, have I tried the 800-gram challenge with EC? I have, and I think it's phenomenal. That's probably one of my favorite things, quite frankly. It's simple, it's effective, there's no smoke and mirrors, and it works. And so, there you go. All right, everybody. I'm going to take off to my kid's school and tell some 2nd graders that CrossFit's pretty darn cool. So that's it. Have a great day, and we will talk again later.